Welcome to the Achieve Your Apex podcast. Chad Hyams here, author of best-selling Achieve Your Apex and host of this podcast. That's right, it's just me and you. Sometimes I bring on an amazing guest, and boy, do I have some great ones coming up soon for you. Today, I want to talk to you about, one of my favorite things to do. Some of you will be like, I'm right there with you, Chad. And some of you will be like, no way, never. Don't turn the episode off because the lessons will still be there for you and you'll understand what I'm talking about. And today I want to talk to you about the lessons learned from running. I know, I've heard it all. I only run when someone's chasing me. I only run, right? You only have to be faster than your friend. You don't have to outrun the bear. I get all of that. And it doesn't matter what level you are. If you are a runner, congratulations. If you're not a runner, that's okay. Maybe you work out in different ways. Maybe you're a lifter. Maybe you're a cyclist. Maybe you're a rower. Maybe you're a CrossFitter. Do you know if someone's a CrossFitter? Yeah, they tell you, right? I don't care what it is. Today we're talking running only because there I was running last weekend and realizing all of these things I needed to share with you. So I am in the middle of training for a marathon that'll be coming up down the road. More on that as we get closer because there's a reason for it. And interesting, right? It's not by coincidence that I'm sharing this with you as we just talked about my marathon experience, previous chapter of the book. I'm out there running and I want you to get the lessons that I was realizing, not for the first time, again, while I was out there running. And the first thing is any runner out there that's truly a runner is usually training for something. Otherwise, we just go and we run a few miles and we just say, yeah, that's good enough. When you're training for something, you have a goal you're working towards. And now you're more likely to go out and get that run. Now you're going to run just a little bit farther than you might have run before. And I want you to understand that in anything you do, you've got to have a goal you're working towards. And yes, I am setting you up for next week's podcast as we get into the next chapter of the book. All right. So the first step, running relates to everything else. We should have a goal we're working towards because that leads us to step 2. We need a plan to get there. If your goal was to run a marathon, you wouldn't just go out and run. One of my friends wanted to run a marathon. He's run a whole bunch of them since, right? Big shout out to you, Drew. He went out the first time and no matter what I would tell him to do, how I was helping him coach through it, he'd just run 5 miles every day. And he would say, well, 5 miles felt good for running. I don't want to have to push myself and work harder than that. What ended up happening is he crashed early in the marathon because he wasn't training distance. He was training to be able to go out and run 5 miles every day. So folks, we need to have a plan. And when we know what the goal is, we can build that plan. We know how many miles we need to run each week. You know how many calls you need to make to get X widget sold by the end of the week or month or year or quarter, however you want to challenge yourself. We know we need to do X to get Y. Okay, and I want you to understand we have to have a plan. Now, the next thing we have to do is we have to be prepared. I don't wake up in the morning and say, I'm going to go run. I plan the night before and I say, I'm going to go run tomorrow. I lay out all the things that I need. Yes, it's a whole bunch of stuff that needs to be laid out, from the specific outfit to run in, to water bottles and stuff ready to go, to towels ready to go, to making sure my headphones are charged and my music is ready to go, to lay out all the things I need to do so that when I get up, I don't have to think, I just have to do. Do you prepare? Are you sitting down the night before and preparing for tomorrow? I don't care what it is. I don't care if it's a big meeting at work. I don't care if it's a big date you're going on. I don't care if it's some sort of workout that needs to be done. Do you prepare in advance? Then we get to execution time. And during execution, we would think that would be the easiest part, right? It's just go do it. Form matters. And it's amazing. Here's a tip for all my running people listening. Are you consciously keeping your shoulders down? Or are you letting them shrug up near your ears, wasting energy where it doesn't need to be wasted? Are you making fists thinking you can squeeze yourself to run faster? What you're actually doing is you're cutting off circulation, getting the blood back out of your hand. Open it up. Imagine you're holding a raw egg or wide open hands. Okay, that'll get you going. Are you keeping your body tilted forward just right in the upper body so that you're leaning into the step? Are your hips moving correctly? And do you have your butt underneath you instead of sticking out far in the back so that your form is correct? Because the better our form, the better we are when it comes to achieving what we want. Think about the Tesla. It doesn't have door handles. Why? Because that interfered with aerodynamics. And if Elon Musk had his way, he'd get rid of the side view mirrors too and have little projectors that showed up on the window is what he wants to do. He just can't get it approved by the government yet because, again, better form, better aerodynamics, better performance. You doing whatever you're doing, do you know your form? Are you up and moving? Are you sitting and slouched? Are you leaning a certain way? Do you have things within reach of you when you're doing whatever it is you're doing? And we all do multiple things, different form required for different activities. And are we recovering? Are you out there running every day and beating your body senseless? Your knees are not going to thank you for that. They're not going to get stronger because you're beating on them every day like that. Are you cross training? Right? That means, are you getting on a bike sometimes? That means, are you lifting? It's important for a runner to do these other things. And whatever it is you're doing, it's important for you to do other things so that you recover and give yourself a break from sometimes the things you do every day. It allows you to re-energize and do them again. It allows you to change which muscles you're using. Maybe some days need to be a thinking, planning, creating day, and maybe some days need to be an activity day where you're just sitting there doing the boring, dull activity. But you need to recover, and tomorrow needs to be a thinking, planning day because that's what gets your juices flowing. That's okay. And then are you fueling the machine? Right? As a runner, that literally means, are you carrying water with you? Are you carrying your gels with you? Inside tip, I'm a Sour Patch Kid lover. It's one of my favorite candies that's out there. I take Sour Patch Kids with me. They're the same thing as all those expensive gels, just so you know, runners. It's just a quick dissolve sugar. Put some Sour Patch Kids in your pocket. Eat them as you go. Okay? What I want you realizing is you have to keep fueling the machine. How many of you don't eat lunch and you just think you can make it all the way through the day? No, the machine needs fuel. You wouldn't be able to drive from New York to Los Angeles without stopping and getting gas. So how are you thinking you're taking this machine of you through the whole day without ever stopping to refuel? And the most important fuel stop, sleeping every night. That's right. You're not impressing anybody by telling us that you're functioning on 3 hours sleep. You're not. You'd impress me more if you told me you could get everything done and a proper good night's sleep, because nothing repairs the machine better than that rest. And it'll have you charged up to attack the run, the sales call, the meeting, the first date, whatever it is you have planned that you prepared for the night before. Folks, I'm going to keep tying things together for you, so hopefully something finally clicks. Until then, keep climbing.